There are two types of projection that are often intertwined, and people don't realize they're doing it. And this is so important because there are some people who purposely try to trigger you because they are triggered and they try to get a rise out of you. And because they're triggered and they don't want to own it, they project it on you, and then you eventually get triggered, and then they're right. They're like, haha, you're triggered. So I'm going to talk about this because I think it's really important how to manage, how to emotionally regulate when somebody projects on you and it's not true for you. So if somebody is saying something and you disagree with them, let's say they have a spiritual belief and you're like, oh, I don't believe that. I don't share that same belief. I respect your belief, but I just don't share it. And they'll tell you, like, why are you triggered? And you're like, I'm not triggered. I just disagreed. It's just a difference of opinion. So somebody will get triggered when you say that. So what they are feeling is presumption self-projection, is presuming that everyone should feel the way they feel. And if other people don't feel that way and don't believe what they believe, they get very triggered because they believe that everybody should believe the exact same thing as they do. So that's the first self-projection they're feeling. And then they don't know how to handle that. So what they do is absolve self-projection. They will project it on that person. So they'll be like, you're triggered, absolving themselves of any trigger, absolving themselves of feeling any type of uncomfortable emotion. And they're going to be like, no, you are uncomfortable. You are triggered because you disagreed. So it's so important to know about projection, because if somebody says or does that to you, all you got to do is, oh no, that's not true for me. Think about that emotional regulation that you just did. When you know about self-projection, that people will project all of the things that they're going through because they're not aware of it, and they're like, "Blah," and they project it on you. You don't take it and internalize it. You'll take it as, oh, that doesn't belong to me. That belongs to them. Now, if you are triggered and you get a rise out of somebody doing that, then you could sit with yourself and say, oh, okay, should I internalize this a little bit? Maybe I should self-reflect. How is this making me uncomfortable? Because sometimes we do feel triggered. But if you're not, and somebody is putting something on you, you can just kind of stop it right there and be like, oh, I just don't feel like that. That's not my feeling. And now you're not internalizing the way people treat you and the way they talk to you and how they think you are and all of that stuff. So it's actually really empowering to know the whole thing about self-projection.